Two citizens have moved to the High Court to contest Chief Justice David Maraga's advice to the President to dissolve Parliament for failing to enact a law on the gender equity principle. Lena Conchella and Mohsen Abdul Munassar have termed Maraga's advice to send lawmakers home, quote, unreasonable, irrational and irresponsible, while questioning its implementation. We're going to begin our broadcast with our very own Francis Gashuri, who reports on the President's dilemma, even as ODM leader Raila Odinga urges him to consult widely before taking action on Maraga's prescription. Take a look.
It is all eyes and ears on President Uhuru Kenyatta as he handles the curveball directed his way by Chief Justice David Maraga on Monday. And even before the head of state speaks on Maraga's advice to dissolve the bicameral parliament for failing to pass a legislation to facilitate the realization of gender equity principle outlined in the Constitution, two Kenyans have rushed to court to contest the Chief Justice's prescription. Lena Conchella, a Nairobi resident, and Mohsen Abdul Munassar from Mombasa, in a petition filed before the Constitutional and Human Rights Division in the High Court, termed Maraga's advice unreasonable, irrational and irresponsible. They argue that the Chief Justice had for 3 years failed to prescribe dissolution of Parliament, but opted to do so at a time the country was facing a litany of challenges. According to the two petitioners, there were no timelines specified by the Constitution to enact a law on the 2/3 gender rule, and that Article 100 of the Constitution, whose enabling legislations are required in the document's 5th schedule, had no express demand on the gender quota. The duo further arguing that the 2/3 gender rule was not about women only, and construing it as a requirement to create more seats in Parliament for women was discriminatory and absurd. They also raised questions on implementation of the advice, claiming it would plunge the country into a political and constitutional crisis, since only Parliament was mandated to approve finances that would be required by the electoral body IEBC to conduct by-elections in 290 constituencies and 47 counties should Parliament be dissolved. ODM leader Raila Odinga has also voiced his opinion on Maraga's advice that he says has placed the country and its people in a precarious constitutional and political situation that requires careful deliberation before any action is taken, while indirectly proposing the matter be among issues to be subjected to a referendum for the electorate to make a decision. Odinga said a consensus on the matter was required and urged President Kenyatta to consult widely before making a determination on Maraga's advice. Whether the High Court can overturn advice of the judiciary's head on dissolution of Parliament and an order issued by Justice John Mativo 3 years ago, giving Parliament a deadline to pass the gender equity law or face dissolution, remains the ultimate questions. Francis Gashuri, Citizen TV.